Welcome you all to the Capital Market lecture series. Today we are going to discuss about the concept of financial intermediaries. These financial intermediaries operate as a bridge between capital providers and capital seekers. They are the intermediary joins the capital providers or issuers as well as the capital seekers or those who need capitals. Any person in the capital other than issuer and investor can be a financial intermediary. This issuing company and investor, they are at the different ends. In between there are so many other people who helps both the issuing company as well as the investors. This group of peoples are known as the financial intermediaries. This may be individuals, institutions, etc. Or they are any entity that act as a middleman between two parties in the financial transactions. And the most important financial intermediaries are the commercial banks. Other financial institutions also act like financial intermediaries like investment banks, insurance companies, brokers, dealers, mutual funds, pension funds, etc. These are the various types of institutions as well as individuals who connects the capital providers and the capital seekers. The importance of financial intermediaries are they provide financial services, commercial banking services, investment banking services, asset management facilities, insurance brokerages, safety, security and liquidity in the market, and also economies of scales to the investors as well as to the issuers. Major financial intermediaries are the banks. The central and commercial banks are the most well-known financial intermediaries who simplifies the lending and borrowing process along with providing various other services to the customers on a larger scales. That is, these banks, central as well as commercial banks, provides various facilities to the financial facilities to the investors as well as to the issuing companies. Second category is the credit unions. These are the cooperative financial units which facilitates lending and borrowing of funds to provide financial assistance to the members. Next one is non-banking finance companies. A non-banking finance company is a financial company engaged in activities such as advancing loans to its client at a very high rate of interest. Stock exchanges facilitates or they are another financial intermediary who facilitates trading of securities and stocks, and in every trading activities it charges the brokerages from each party which is its profit. Then we have mutual fund organizations who collects investments from various investors, insurance companies who provides insurance policies to individuals and business entities to secure them against accidents, death, risk, uncertainties and defaults. Then there are another category known as financial advisors or brokers. Investment brokers also collect the fund. Investment brokers also collect the funds from various investors to invest it in the securities, bonds, equities, etc. There are investment bankers. This bank specializes in services like initial public offering, other equity offerings, provision for mergers and acquisitions, broker services, underwriting debt services, etc. There are another financial intermediaries known as escrow companies. It is a third party acting as an intermediary and responsible for getting all conditions fulfilled at the time of loans provided by one party to the other for the real estate mortgages. It is a third party one. Then another one is pension funds. This is another form of investment option. Building societies. These financial intermediaries are similar to the credit unions, owned and facilitating mortgage loans and demand deposit to its members. Collective investment schemes is another types of financial intermediaries. Under these schemes, the various investors which with common investment objective comes together to pool their funds and collectively invest this amount into a profitable investment options. These are the various types of financial intermediaries, that is banks, credit unions, non-bank finance companies, stock exchanges, mutual fund companies, insurance companies, financial advisors, investment bankers, escrow companies, pension funds, building societies, and collective investment schemes. Here some of the important financial intermediaries are explained, that is stock exchanges, investment bankers, underwriters, registrars, depositors, custodians, primary dealers, satellite dealers, forex dealers. These are some of the important financial intermediaries. F. These are various regulations by SEBI to control the financial intermediaries in India. The major types of financial intermediaries are the stockbrokers, sub-brokers, share transfer agents, banker to an issue, trustee of trusted deeds, registrar to an issue, merchant bankers, underwriters, portfolio managers, investment advisors, depository and depository participants, custodian of securities, credit rating agencies, asset management companies, clearing members, trading members, etc. These are the various types of financial intermediaries available in the capital market. Now, the advantages of financial intermediaries are that first one, the involvement of intermediaries reduce the risk of fraudulent default activities. That is, they helps to reduce the risk. Second advantage of the second important advantages of the financial intermediary is that they helps the company as well as the investors or the issuer and as well as the investors for doing their business. Third one is economies of scale. That is the cost involved in lending and borrowing of funds like analyzing the credit position of operational expenses, cost of paperwork, etc. can be reduced through the activities of the financial intermediaries. Then the financial intermediaries enables the financial specializations. They also provides greater liquidity in the economy. And financial intermediaries helps the investors for making safe investment. That is, some of the advantages are they helps to reduce the risk. They make the investment procedures very convenient. Economies of scales can be observed. Financial specializations can be made available. Greater liquidity can be provided in the market. And safe investment can also be made through the financial intermediaries. The drawbacks of financial intermediaries are first one, low return or investment. That is, the ultimate aim of the financial intermediary is to earn profit and therefore they offers a low return on the investment. Second drawback is that there may be oppositions regarding the goals. These investors and financial intermediaries. That is, the objective of one may not be achieved at the cost of others. Next drawback is that they imposes or the intermediaries imposes fees, commissions, etc. Another drawback is that financial intermediaries comes up with the investment opportunities which guarantees high potential returns with hidden risk involved in it. Even some of these may not yield promised returns and turns out to be a failure for investors. That is, sometimes there may be some risk associated with the functioning of the financial intermediaries. Another drawback is that financial intermediaries charges a high rate of interest on the loans provided to the borrowers in order to earn a huge profit. These are the features and functions of the features, functions, and the types of financial intermediaries.